It's just Whistle, and this is the first video in the Zero to Hero journey. Yeah, I called it Zero to Hero. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Yeah, Zero to Hero, week 1 of 100. And today we talk about resetting your system. So, with no further ado, I will jump in my Maro there. I can explain you more, and it's not so boring and stupid. And we will jump right into it. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I want to give you the most value, and I hope after this you will have something to grasp with and something where you can go. And I don't want you to do the exact same thing I tell you. I want to do I want you to do the thing that is the best for you. And that's it. That's simply it. So enjoy, grab some drink, grab some food, and just listen to my words. Okay, here we are in our Miro. I put my glasses on. That means we have to focus. All right, let's jump into it. This is you. You are a normal guy, a normal woman. I don't know. I don't know your age. I don't know your origin. I know nothing about you. The only thing I know about you is that you are a human. And yeah, what is the number one thing we as human beings want? We want happiness. Happiness and love. These are the two things we want. Think of this. Why the heck do we want to have money? It's pretty simple. It's because we can buy things. Yeah, this is you. This is you. Yeah, little drawing. I know. And you go to, I don't know, a smoothie bar. And there you buy something to drink for cash. And this drink now gives you happiness. And maybe you make an Insta story with this, maybe you share this to your friend. And all of this has one goal: to be happy. Nothing more, nothing less. So, when people tell you that you need to get rich, or that you want to have money, or you need money, or they want money, or money is the best, it's just because they cope that drive for happiness and love, that's where I'm talking about later, they cope this with money. They think that materialistic form of things like food, cars, watches, I don't know, will give them happiness. And that means their mind, this should be a brain, their mind is shifted in terms of thinking. And they think money equals happiness. And happiness just means don't die. Our body knows that when we are happy, we are not in any survival issues. Therefore, we grasp for happiness because then we don't die. As human beings, we want to avoid dying. That's logical. We need to eat, we need to sleep, we need to go to bed. And everything else is additional. And in today's society, we can get happy through a variety of things. We can get happy through Instagram. These short term pleasures, you know them. Fast food, I don't know, sleeping, or in other words, laying in your bed all day. And this is very nice for your brain. Your brain loves it. It is pure dopamine. When you do all of this shit every single day, your brain likes it because, well, you don't die. You get all of this good stuff. You eat the stuff you want. You post the stuff you want. You watch shit you want. You don't do anything that is uncomfortable. and you don't die. That's very nice for your brain, and it loves it. So, but why the heck is that bad for you? Well, that's pretty simple. First of all, we take a look at love. Same thing with love. We do everything to attract a different partner. Same thing with money again. People buy nice cars, nice watches to potentially attract a woman or a guy by flexing with the statues. Or they get in shape because they want to attract a partner. Or they are social, they get nice, they get happy, they look at themselves, they groom, they do all this shit to attract a partner. These two things are everything. This is your baseline. You do nothing besides that. It's all about love and don't die. And love can be also comprehended. That means with love, you want to reproduce yourself. These two things, reproduction and don't die, are our deeply rooted baselines, and you need to understand this. This is the most important thing you need to know. Don't die, reproduce yourself. Nothing. That's why we do all the shit we do right now. And now, because we don't live in Stone Age times and we need to hunt and all of that shit, we can chill. We can chill more. We have more time to do the things we want to do. You know, something like Instagram, eating bad stuff, sleeping longer than normal, or just doing shit. And your brain likes it. Your brain releases dopamine. But I will have a very detailed explanation for this here in another video. But first of all, you just need to understand this. This is you. You are human and you have the force to thrive for. Don't die or avoid dying, and reproduction. And how you do this? Yeah, that is pretty simple. 99% people do this on the easy way. And the easy way is this here. The happiness that comes through Instagram, fast food, sleeping, and all of that shit. And the other percentage of people, the 0.1%, do this with hard shit. They build physique, and all they start focusing on wealth, and they connect with people. And what's the difference between this year, and this year? Because for your brain, it's the simple shit. You connect with people. You can do this by talking 1 hour with a friend, or you can do this by just scrolling Instagram. Your brain sees two people. And the cool thing is, in Instagram, you don't see just one person for 1 hour, you see hundreds and thousands of people. So that's the difference. Fast food and healthy. Well, here you help your brain to get healthier, but you do this with discipline. You need to understand this here. This is your brain. Your brain. And this is you. You are separate parts. And you as a human being, you want to grow. You want to get smarter, you want to get happier, you want to reproduce yourself. And therefore you do the rational and smart things. I don't want to go in our neurologically part of the brain because I think that's too deep, but in general, this is our cortex. The rational mind. We want to grow because it's logic. When we grow, everything else grows too. When we do the stuff that helps us to bring in the money, to get the nice physique, or to have the nice relationships, then we just get them. It's simple. But then we have our brain, and that's our primitive part, and that is our strong part. We are like monkeys, and these are our emotions. And I like to call this the pleasure orientated mind. And now you have a fight. This is a constant clash. And when you don't actually conscious be aware of these two factors, this year will have the lead. When you don't think of growth, you don't grow. You will do this year. Well, of course you grow. You will have all of your baseline shit set it. You have a job where you earn decent money, where you have a decent life, you have decent friends, you have decent this, you have decent this, just to hit the baseline. Yeah? You will do this. This is the growth part. But everything up to the high class is contributed by actively handling. Because your brain thinks, why the heck should I have the pain of not eating the shit I want or not chilling at night instead of starting a business or instead of trading, instead of I don't know what people do. So, oh, why should I need to talk to people I really like when I just have a lot of people in friends group and we chat and yeah, I have people and so on and so on. So your mind just thinks, well, no, I don't want to do this. And then you need to clash. You need to constantly go and go and go and go. And of course, your mind will hate it in the first place. You will hate it. Wow. You will hate that shit. That is a guarantee. No one wants to build a beautiful physique. Do you really believe that all the bodybuilders are mentally healthy to build this fucking physique? There could be just normal guys. They eat unnormal things, unnormal in our society. Maybe they eat more normal shit than the average human being does, but that's not the point. They do unnormal things, and for unnormal actions, you need to do unnormal things, and you need to have your mind in an unnormal spot. So, when you want to build a physique, when you want to start using your mind to create wealth, or when you want to start to have happy relations and really true fulfilling ones, then you just need to take action. Pretty simple. But now I have one question to you. What do you actually think? Why 99% of the people are this year tired, lonely, poor, and unhealthy? And why just 0.1% of the population is actually happy, actually social, actually rich, and actually healthy? By the way, mental and physical. Why do you think this? You are maybe tired. You are maybe lonely. You sit in your dark room at night and cry. You are constantly tired. You don't sleep well. You always have money problems, or you are complaining about yourself. You can't watch yourself naked. You are unhappy with yourself and you think you don't attract other people. But why the fuck don't you take action? And that is actually not your fault. Well, of course it's your fault, but it isn't really. It's the fault of our society. The world is contributed to this here. All of this input, I can show this to you. All of this shit, the Instagram, the fast food, the TikTok, I don't know what people watch. The too much sleeping, all of this shit contributors to a decrease yourself. You don't actually work on these factors. Of course, you can work on social activities at Instagram. Of course, you can work on these things by side. But when you primarily focus, for example, when you 90% of the time spent with shit and 10% of the time actually work, do you think that you can reach this here? No, you can't. You can't reach this. But now the question, why the heck are 99% of the people that here and 0.1% here? Why are not 100% of every single human being? Why is not every single human being rich, social, happy, and healthy? Well, obviously, when every single human being is rich, no one is actually rich because now rich is the new baseline. That is, yeah, that is for sure. But when you actually see this here, you might think that, well, 50% are rich, 50% are poor, and the rest is baseline. Or 50% are healthy and 50% are unhealthy. And 50% are social, 50% are unsocial, happy and unhappy, and so on and so on. And yeah, that is simply not the truth. Go outside, walk outside, and look at the people. Do you really see 50-50% healthy, 50-50% wealthy, 50-50% social, 50-50% happy? No, you don't. But why the heck is this the case? And that's pretty simple. This here is the devil, and this here is the angel. But why? Why are we now all? We want this. We want this. Why the heck we want this? Why are we all here? Why are we all lonely, poor, tired, unhealthy? When we don't act in a way, it's because of this here, of this little dude. And I can tell you this. I want to show this to you in a really nice way. You have 100% of health points, yeah? And now the devil, that is your mind, tells you, yeah, you can give away one. That means, for example, 1 week of your life, and you get 3 happiness. For one. That means you have a return on invest from 3x. Very nice. But the one thing the devil doesn't tell you is that this here can't recover. And you do this blindly, you do this and do this. You eat the junk food 3 times a day. You eat this here with no money in your bank. You are lonely and eat in no community. You are tired because you don't sleep well and you eat that shit. You are shitting about yourself and suddenly you have 0. Wow. But obviously you have 300 happiness. And that is the average life. Yeah, you can see this here. The average life has 300 happiness. Of course, in between you can die, and of course, a lot of unfortunate things happens in between, but that's not the point. You have a trade with the devil where you give 1 and get 3. And you can have this in a scale as well. You lower this here and you get this here. This is happiness. Yeah, and obviously one day you die. Yeah, you can draw this higher and here you die. So happiness, and this is time, and yeah, of course, you know, this here is your invest. And now you can have this graph as well. This is your angel. And this is, by the way, your baseline. And this is your angel. And your angel tells you that here. Of course, one day you die. That is not placeable. But here you can see you are way higher than this here, but you need to spend a little thing. And this thing is called pain. And this thing is called delayed gratification. And this thing is called acting in a different way. Simple. When the average are 99% of people, when the average is happy with their fast food, is happy with their job, is happy with having no real friends, is happy with their husband or wife they love, it's bloody fake. Because when they are actually happy, they don't they are not this year, they are this year. They are this year. So you need to do unnatural things. Oh, excuse me. Unconventional things to get unconventional results. You need to put a lot in to get a lot out. Simple. I know a lot of people hate to see this. You need to put a lot in to get a lot out. When you want a lot, you need to work a lot. It's simple. You are not different. How narcissism is this thinking spot? It isn't. You know what narcissism is? You do nothing and get everything. This is a narcissism perspective of life. You think something like, oh yeah, I don't need to do this, and yeah, I will get this anyway, so I can chill, I can relax, I am different, I'm better than everyone. No, you need to work to get cool things. That's how life works. Of course, there are a few lucky people. That is not the average user. But you need, in general, to do a lot to get a lot out. And therefore, you need to put something in. And the cool part about this is you put a lot in, and when you do it right, you get more than a lot out. And that means you are higher than the dude or the woman who invested nothing. And another cool part is that you don't actually sacrifice this shit. You can sacrifice them immediately. You do something like this. You sacrifice 30 for minus 20 happiness. But after that, you get 120. And you get plus 50 and plus 500 happiness. You invested 20 to get plus 50% and plus 500 happiness. This is, I know, this is abstract. You need to have this as numbers because otherwise you can't comprehend it. You can't understand it otherwise. I hope I can't explain this to you. But I think the point is very clear. You need to do shit to get shit out. And when you want to do this, you need to get actively involved here because your mind obviously doesn't like it. Why? That's also pretty simple. You are here. This is your baseline. Your baseline is you have enough drink, you have enough food, you have enough water. And this here is the small dopamine spikes. You have nicer things, shit, you have nicer food, you have nicer drinks, you have a nice trip, all of this. Little spikes above your baseline. And suddenly you do this here. Boom. And in this frame, your mind gets so angry. Your mind hates it. Because, of course, your mind symbolizes that you are going to die. And what do we want to avoid? We want to avoid dying. We want to grow, but we want also avoid dying. And therefore, our mind and you are at war. And you need to win the war. When you are disciplined enough to stick in the pain, because you know that the output will be great, you need to be rational about it. You need to have the output in mind. When you are willing to do this shit, even though you can't do a different thing, that's important, then you are in war with your mind. So be aware of this. Fight it. Fight it, fight it, fight it. Because you know the output will be so much higher than a different one. And therefore, I need to shift your paradigm. And that means we need to do a protocol. And the protocol is obviously called resetting your systems. Because then we can shift your reality. And we start with the following: have a goal. Simple. You can focus on your health, you can focus on your wealth, you can focus on your relationship, and you can focus on your happiness. These are the four things you can focus on. Think of this. There's nothing more, nothing less. You can focus on this, and that's it. So, you have 100% to spend on. And for example, when you spend 100% on happiness, that means you have a dog, a bad job. For example, by the way, a bad job. You are constantly on Instagram. You are do this short-term pleasure things because, of course, they make you happy. They don't actually make you as happy as you wish, and they are kept. You can see this here. These things are kept. Of course, one thing will be higher, this will be lower, and so on and so on. But you will never reach the happiness that you reach when you put something bad in. So, what do I recommend you to do is you need to focus on your health, on your wealth, and on your relationships. 33, 33, 33%. Sometimes you focus 100% on this, 100% on this, 100% on this. This can be an hour, this can be in a day, this can be in a month, this can be in a year, this can be on a lifetime. But in general, you need to focus on all of these three things to get happy. Because when you now have the great relationships, you get happy. When you now have the money where you can spend the nice trips, the better trips on, the better cars, the better watches, all of this shit you want to have, then you get happier. Or when you have the nice body and you can attract a better, in quotes, it depends on your decision, what better is, a better woman, then you actually get happy. You can't avoid it. You need to focus on one of these three things. You can just purely focus on relationships. It's fine. You can just purely focus on wealth. It's fine. You can just purely focus on health. It's fine. You will get healthy. You will get happy. But I promise you, focus on all three things will compound the happiness, and not by this year, but plus it will multiply the happiness. So we have 33, 33, 33. This number is higher than 33 plus 33 plus 33. And that means you need to focus on every three things. I promise. I guarantee this to you. These things will make you fulfilled. So have a goal. You decide what you want to do. If you want to be a sheep farmer, if you want to be a gardener, if you want to be, I don't know, if you want to work at Tempo or want to buy some of these Mickey Mouse, or if you want to, I don't know, You can do anything, but you can't do everything. That's simple. Choose what you want to do, and that's it. And for this, I created this protocol. Just follow the instructions and let the magic happen. It's pretty simple. If you've watched that far, you will now get the reward. This here was pain to watch, wasn't it? All of this shit, all of this theoretical stuff you don't want. Maybe you was on Instagram, but you can see this is pure chaos. Your mind is here. You have pure chaos. You can't even focus 30 minutes on a dude who sits here and explains you something that will really shift your reality and will really shift and can create a new mind and a new life. But why I am so confident with it, that's pretty simple. This protocol helped me. I had a lot of trauma, a lot of issues, a lot of struggles in my life, and I overcame it by my own. And I did it by stumbling over this year. And I promise you, I would not be self employed. I would not have this physique. I would not have a loving relationship if I not followed the instructions I want to share with you now. So will make it quick. I will make it fast. You can screenshot it, and that's it. So let's go on. We need to master the art of resisting impulse. By the way, this is screenshots here. These are all screenshots from some PDF of my program. So you can see this exactly in my program. But that's not the point. You need to master the art of resisting impulse. That means the following. Discipline is more about not doing the wrong thing than it is doing the right thing. Instead of trying to be disciplined, just try not to be undisciplined. It's way easier. To do this, we have to become aware of and ignore impulses. Impulses are strong emotions that drive us to a specific, usually healthy behavior. In other words, pick up your phone, ordering junk food, click on the next YouTube video, opening emails, scrolling YouTube, scrolling social media, and so on and so on. And I want you to start with this here. This is resetting your system. And first of all, we need to recognize the bad stuff. And therefore, you need to list up your top 10 impulses. This can be anything. Here are some of mine. I check my phone frequently. I play chess online frequently. I watch non-required YouTube videos frequently. I watch my analytics frequently. I'm not perfect. You are not perfect. We are all not perfect. We try to work. And therefore, we want to master the art of perfection. And what we now need to do is we need to figure out our top 10 impulses and start working on those, because when you think of them, you can change them easier. The neural pathway for discipline is identical regardless of impulse. That means checking your phone is the same neural pathway activation as if you watch analytics, or as if you open email, or if you order junk food. It is just the thrive. And it's just the reaction on your impulse. So when you resist any impulse, when you resist 9 out of 10 impulse and you don't resist one, then your mind gets trained to discipline and resisting. And that's a skill we need to learn. And to do this on a radical way, on a crucial way, I have here something for you. This is, by the way, my first newsletter, my whole life story, my beginning of my journey. This everything I have. This is one thing I recommend to everyone. But this is obviously the hardest shit you can possibly do. So we just quickly run through it. I have no explanation for this. If you want to have explanation, buy my program, follow my newsletter, and just enjoy life. So do this here for 14 days. Obviously, it seems like, 16 tasks, 16 things to avoid, or 16 things to do. Isn't that hard? But when you think of this, you have a life, you have a job, maybe you have a side hustle as well, maybe you have a relationship, maybe you have a workout routine, maybe you have all of this shit. And you now need to add all of this here over and over again. By the way, this here can be removed. So, for 14 days, we want to have no porn, no alcohol and drugs, no breakfast. That means at least 13 or 1 p.m. No unhealthy and empty food. That means whole food and nutritious food. For example, no fast food or no shitty, sugary food. No mindless entertainment, TikTok, Instagram, films on your own. You can do this with a friend or a partner, but not on your own. Drink at least 3 liters of water every day. I eat 6 to 8 liters. Yeah, obviously I eat them. I drink 6 to 8 liters of water after waking up, 500 milliliters. Meditate for 10 minutes in the morning. Do it. I will have a video how to do it and I will give you instructions how to do it. So just chill. I will do it for you. Journal for 10 minutes in the evening. Read 10 pages of a non-fictional book. Read something you are deeply interested in. I read around 30 to 50 pages every day. That means I read around 2 to 4 books. Yeah, for example, when I read that, I need around 1 month for reading this. This book has 700 pages and it is very, very neurological and very science-based and very heavy to read. So if you have any book that's very heavy to read, or something like this here, a big book about Steve Jobs. But when you have some small books like like this here about dreams from Sigmund Freud, then obviously you have to do it in 1 week because you do this. But first of all, start with reading 10 pages. That means you have 1 book in at least 2 months and start. If you want to have book recommendation, just let me know it in the comments. I will give you my top 10 books. Maybe you can write a topic about the theme you are interested in, and then I will write top 10 books because I have hundreds of books here and yeah, my whole shelf is full of books and I love reading and yeah, I can share this to you, obviously. So, and then I work towards your actual interest and internal goal. That means when you want to have the chicken farm or the sheep farm, then you need to work on this for 4 hours a day. You need to sleep 7 to 9 hours every day, the more the better. You need to spend 30 minutes outside. You need to work out every single day. You need to turn the notifications off. You need to plan your day every day. And you need to single task only. You can make a screenshot here. Do it. And when you actually complete this, you practice impulse management. In other words, you practice delay gratification. And after that, I promise you, you will get from this year to this year. Because you can see this. This year is your pure chaos. You have chaos. You don't know where to go. You maybe have some ups. You maybe have some downs. You don't know what to do. You are always struggling over time and you don't have a real flow. But when you now remove all of these distractions, the whole shit gets thinner and more steady. And when you now have the steadiness, no distraction, just you, then you can start. You know which direction you want to go. You know where your North Star, your intrinsic goal is. You know where to go. And you can't do this with pure chaos. Of course, to remove chaos that you built in 10 or 20 years will be hard when you want to do this in 2 weeks. Yeah, obviously, you put in 2 weeks of effort to remove pain or remove shitty things from decades. Of course, it will be heavy and it will be hard. So, my recommendation, do at least 3 tasks a day for the beginning, and then stack it up to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to 9, and in the end, you reach this year. And by the way, after this 14 days, try to do this all the time. I don't do everything every time. I think I do, when I see this, I do around 10 to 11 things every time. I don't sleep, probably I don't spend 30 minutes outside every day. I don't meditate I don't journal every day. I don't, yeah, I'm on Instagram as well. I watch some shit. Yeah, I don't drink. Yeah, around 10 to 11. So just try to beat you. And to gamify this for you, if you watched that far, I have something cool for you. Buy a whiteboard marker. Obviously, this is from my program. Here are links, but you can't click on this. Buy a whiteboard and whiteboard marker, and every time you notice and ignore an impulse, mark a line on a tally chart. Yeah, you have a line when you obviously, for example, wanted to watch Instagram, but you don't actually need to, but you did it. Then you draw a line. But after that, when you have the same impulse and you actually act on it, then you can remove this line. And your goal is to try to beat yesterday. For example, when you have one day with 7, the next day we want to have then the next day you want to have 6. It's bloody simple. So, practice delay gratification and reset your system. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a long one. And if you watched so far, hit the subscribe button, like, comment, interact with me. I will help you with everything you want to know. But, that's a huge but, I don't give you business advice, how to get rich, how to earn 10k a month with doing that shit. It's stupid. I will actually help you to get healthy, mentally and physically. I have a program about this. So, first link in the description. There's my program, my business. You can watch it if you want. If you don't mind, just watch my videos, enjoy life, and be healthier. That's my advice. Try it, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope I will see you in the second week or in the next video. See ya. Bye.